Hey guys, how's it hanging? Charlie here, your coach of the São Paulo Cyndaquils for the IBL, here with you guys for the team build for our last week of the regular season of the IBL, our week 10, our last week actually, right before playoffs, and we're going against the coach of the MuchaLucha Hawluchas, Hawluchas. And just a little disclaimer for you guys, the both of us are already guaranteed a place on the playoffs, which is pretty damn exciting. So this match only comes to like who gets a bye week and who's taking first place on their conference. But regardless, we are here coming with the mentality to try and redeem ourselves from the last couple of losses. So we're giving our best. Hawluchas' team's pretty offensive, a pretty scary one, and he has Kieran Black, which is a ginormous threat just by himself with like a choice pack set, choice band, or hell, even a mixed wall breaker set if he wants to. He has Lobro, which is a great wall with its regenerated ability, but we kinda can work around him with U-turns and volt switches hopefully. Then another great wall, this time around more specially defensive, is his Snorlax, which with Thick Fat, it can eat up our Sacred Fires, Flamethrowers, and Flare Blitzes pretty well. This thing can be straight out a Curse-like set, pretty scary, but this thing also gets whittled down by statuses like Burn, Poison, and Metagross, Salamence, and Gardevoir can also put in some work against him, hopefully. Out to his next Mon, it is his Sableye, very good utility status Mon with its Springster ability, allowing him to go first when using a non-damaging move, but a very frail Pokemon though, if not Bulk Invested or like a Calm Mind set. But Gardevoir can put some pressure on him with the Stab super effective Moonblasts, but could be problematic in case he wants to throw Sableye out to it a predicted like fighting or psychic type move because of its immunities of course. But other than that, it doesn't scare me as much as the rest of his team. Next we have Scavalier, which I think he's not bringing because of its quad weakness to our main offensive Pokemon, which are fire types. But if not, Under the Sun and with an Assault Vest, this could put in some work with knockoff Pursuits, Mega Horns, and Arrowheads, so that's something to look out for if he brings. Then we have the special monster Magmortar with a base special attack of 125. Yeah, he's pretty slow though, and his physical defense is kind of his weak point. Not sure if Hawluchas would bring him either, although it could dish some EQs, Focus, Blasts, Thunderbolts, and Psychics, maybe Step Fire Blast if he wants. An Assault Vest is possible, but I think either a Life Orb or an E-Belt would be more beneficial for him in this match. Then we go out into his freaking Mega. The almighty speed-busted Manectric, yeah. With both its speed and special attack being base 135, this thing can dish some pretty crippling volt switches and even stop ours if not its Mega Evolved because it has a Lightning Rod then. And the Mega Intimidate can be very clutch for him as well. This thing's very scary because of the covers it has access to, like Flamethrower, Volt Switch, HP Ice. We know that only HP Ice by itself can destroy like half of our team, so we have to play very properly around this Mega Manectric. And now to more traps, he has his Garchomp, which will be quite problematic to handle if it is a rough skin Rocky Helmet. But we have to pivot around it and hit him with in his weak point, which is like of course ice type moves before it starts to hinder our team down with something like Swords Dance, or even the natural combo of Rock Skin and Rocky Helmet. This is also, I think, his only stealth rock setter, so that could be, as his Mega, a possible dedicated lead for him. And next up is the special Bulk Fairy itself, the Togekiss. Very high special attack stats, but lots of weaknesses, and we can kinda work around it. But could be an Air Slash Flinch Roost Heal Bell set with T-Wave and Serene Grace, of course, which boosts his Air Slash probability of flinching, and can also set up Calm Minds, which is pretty scary. Has access to Aura Sphere, to E-Speed. Even though it is a physical move, it is still priority, so I have a side note for that. And also can Flamethrower to hit our Metagross and also set up Tailwinds, so we have to look out for this. And it is also his Defogger. His second to last mon is one that I feel he's bringing it, and it could be very problematic to deal with. That is his Spinner, Hitmonlee. Both Reckless and Unburdened Hitmonlee would be kinda terrifying to deal with, as he outspeeds naturally our Psychic and Fairy Stabs, Metagross and Gardevoir. And to be honest, our only answer to him are like Honchkrow or running Air Cutter, Air Slash, or what have you on Salamence and Tendrils. And aside from that, would be cool to Mega Burn on it, so it's not as problematic anymore. So Vaporeon could do some work with this. And now his final mon is Volbeat. It is generally a weather support set, so I'm a bit confused as to what could it do aside from Swarm Boost or like Prankster Tailwind, Toxic and Core and stuff like that. But now that we kind of have a general idea on his team and his very powerful draft, let's go through our picks for this week. So first off, we have our main answer to Mega Manectric, which is Constantine, our Gliscor. And for the first time in 10 weeks, his set is quite different now. We really needed Constantine to counter Manectric and also to be a defogger, and turns out it is a perfect match because with the Hyper Cutter ability, we negate the Mega Manectric's Intimidate, leave an HP Ice with the Yacha Berry, and fire off any Q to pick up the KO. So yeah, Hyper Cutter, Yacha Berry, Offensive Constantine for this week. And he's an Adamant Nature with 252 attack, 200 HP and 58 defense. That weird investment is so we could safely leave hits from both Garchomp, Hitmonlee and Mega Manectric with the Yacha Berry. And his moves are U-turn for initiative, but also to hit the Slowbro kinda hard, and EQ for the Mega Manectric, of course, Ice Fang for Garchomp, but also for Togekiss kind of, and Defog because we really need our Pokemon healthy. And next up we have Moonlight, our Thunderous Therian, pretty standard set with both Volt Absorb and a Charity Berry to prevent those rock type moves. He's a modest nature with 252 special attack, 252 speed and 4 HP, and we're rocking both Volt Switch and Thunderbolt for this week because we wanted to keep initiative but also be able to snag some KOs Volt Switch couldn't. And we also have HP Ice for Garchomp and Focus Blast for both Kyurem Black and Snorlax. Also, he kinda can't switch Togekiss into a Focus Blast because Thunderbolt plus Focus Blast would hurt real bad. And our third pick is Desiree, our Gardevoir. I'm still not as confident in the set just because Gardevoir is naturally a slow mon, but I decided to try it out anyways. So a Stun Moonblast does a good chunk on almost his entire team, so I decided to throw a Kamikaze set where Gardevoir goes out and starts dishing Moonblast until she dies, basically. She is a trace ability, of course, and she's carrying the choice specs for the first time. And her spread is also different from usual, with max speed, max special attack and 4 HP, with a modest nature, so she can hopefully outspeed some things and dish pretty powerful Moonblasts. And aside from Moonblast, we have Focus Blast, Psyshock and Icy Wind on her. Focus Blast is for Snorlax and Kyurem, Icy Wind is for Garchomp but also hurts Togekiss, and Psyshock is to one-shot Hitmonlee since we can leave one anything from him basically, but also hits decently his switch-ins, especially Snorlax since it's way more specially defensive. And our fourth pick is gonna be Waffles, our Entei. Pretty standard set with pressure and a choice band, max attack, max speed, and 4 HP with an adamant nature. He's packing E-Speed, Stone Edge, Flare Blitz, and Sacred Fire for this week. No one really wants to switch into a Flare Blitz or a Sacred Fire and catch a burn, maybe except for Togekiss, and if it is defensive, of course, but Stone Edge would do the job for us. And also E-Speed is very important to outspeed a Scarf user or Mega Manatric if we need to. And our second to last pick is going to be Cephalothorax or Vaporeon, and that's our standard support set with Water Absorbing Lefties, max HP, max defense and 4 special defense with a bold nature. And we decided not to bring Wish this time because we needed the Baton Pass initiative, and we needed Roar to put traps and set up mons out, and we really needed Heal Bell in case anything was toxic, frozen solid, burned or paralyzed. So our last slot is always kept for Scald so Vaporeon can actually do work or at least try and burn something. So physical wall support Cephalothorax for this week. And now to our last but not least, maintenance, our Metagross, rocking the clear body for Mega Manatrix Intimidate and holding the Assault Vest for this week. He has 252 special defense, 100 attack and 156 HP. This spread allows us to switch reliably into Mega Manatric and one-hit KO it since we only need those 100 points in attack to also KO Kyurem Black with a combination of Meteor Mash and Bullet Punch. And he's also packing EQ for a Mega Manatric and Hammer Arm for Snorlax. So that's gonna be it for this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and tell me in the comment section down below what you thought of these sets for this week, because some things are pretty weird, like not weird but that we don't usually run, like Choice Specs Gardevoir and Hypercutter Constantine. But aside from that, we'll see you guys on the actual match against Shell Shock later on, and then into our next team building against the Nerdy Steve. So see you guys there. Bye!